Well, we all know that filming on a movie set, it could be thrilling, it could be exciting, but once that hard work is done, it's time to get down and eat. Trying to get your grub on. That's what I like to say. Will Adamek is the owner of Dogwood Catering, which is a part of the Atlanta Craft Services Group, and they provide the huge spreads of food that you may find on most movie sets. Will, it's good to have you on the show.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. So let's talk about this. How exactly did you get started in your line of work?
So I got started in catering, coming up in restaurants in Atlanta, working around several different spots, and then it kind of morphed into a catering career. And then once the film industry came into town, there was a big demand and need for, catering and opportunity, and we got one call turned into 2 calls, turned into 5 calls, and we've kind of gone from there.
So they've been giving us kind of our own version of being movie stars out here this week at Assembly, and they got food for us after every show, and I'm like, is this the life? I like this thing.
It's a nice setup.
So tell us, when did you really start Atlanta Craft Services?
So my partner actually started Atlanta Craft Services back in 2014, and I started Dogwood Catering back in 2008, and he had started getting a lot of requests. He was strictly doing craft services, which is basically a snack setup, hot coffee, hot beverages, grab and goes. And he said, hey, a lot of people are asking for real food. I said, well, cool, I do real food, And so I said, let's put the ideas together and see if we can't set something up to where we service both. So that's kind of how we got into it.
So I know, doing what you do, you've got to get some weird requests from time to time. I've got to know, what is the weirdest request that maybe you've encountered since you've been in this business?
It's not so much weird as it is specific. So certain people want a certain brand of water. Hey, I only drink Aquafina. I only drink Fiji. You know what I mean? So it's more personalized riders, usually for talent. They say, hey, we have to have this brand of coffee, and that's what it is, and we make it happen.
Yeah, make it happen. Okay, so is this a real thing? I've seen like in shows, and this is just on TV, where people are like, I only want green M&Ms. Is that a real thing?
I've seen things along those lines. For sure. You get some specific requests.
Oh my goodness, now that's a lot right there. So what specifics are you looking for when you're talking about hiring outside vendors and caterers?
So for catering personnel on set work like this, you've got to be pretty versatile. It's not, most caterers work in a kitchen, air conditioned, proper equipment, nothing's mobile. Out here we're hooking everything up on propane, where we're using food trucks, with the water and everything. It's all built there. So you have to be kind of versatile, roll with the punches type person. So if you've got experience in that kind of work, that's what we're looking for.
And here in Atlanta, a place like Atlanta, there are just so many people who are entrepreneurs, they're aspiring business owners. What advice would you have for someone who's maybe trying to get into the catering business and maybe they're trying to become a chef? What would you say to them?
Everything's an opportunity. Talk to everybody. Anybody you meet could be a potential client or could know a potential client. So always represent yourself and represent your brand, and don't be scared. Just go for it. Believe in who you are. If you've got the talent, it'll come through.
And just tell me real quick, what does it mean to you being out on movie sets, as often as you are?
It's a trip. Like I said, I was doing wedding catering and corporate catering, and now that I'm in this life, I'm blown away by the logistics of it all. Seeing the setup, seeing the things that go into making it happen, it's really impressive.
It's a lot, and it's not just the lights, the camera, and the action. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes. All right, so tell us this, Will. I hear today is a special day.
It is a special day. It is my fiance's birthday, so I wanted to give her a little shout out, tell her I love her, and happy birthday today.
All right, well, happy birthday to Will's fiance, and of course, Will, we appreciate you being on the show.
Thanks a lot for having me.
For more information about everything that we just discussed, you can find it to a link to Atlanta Craft Services on CBS46.com, and then of course on the CBS 46 News app. Lana, back